Hi, everybody. It is Brooke with the Junk Parlor. Happy Mother's Day. So, yesterday, with the kids' schedule, everybody had the morning off of work and we didn't have any activities. So, we did a little family brunch yesterday morning to celebrate Mother's Day. And probably for the first time ever, everybody got me a card. So, it was a nice morning just getting to sit all together and chit chat. Then today for lunch, we came up and kind of did a double duty because my mom and dad came up. Kyler turned 16 on the 10th, and so they wanted to take her out to eat. So it just happened to work out that most of us could get together at lunch today. So we were missing Kellen because he was at work, but we got to go out to eat. She is in love with Mexican food, and so we went to a new to us restaurant, Guadalajara. It was very good here. It was here in Ankeny. And then if you don't know, she has celiacs, and so we're kind of a little bit picky about where we go. So it's a little limiting, but Mexican food, especially if they have corn chips, then you're okay with the gluten factor. But speaking of that, I have not made regular chocolate chip cookies in forever. So right now we are in my kitchen. I normally make chocolate chip cookies using chickpeas, peanut butter, and protein powder. And most of the family will eat that. Kellen, not so much, but the other two kids like them. And then I will make gluten-free cookies for Kyler, which I made them on Friday night, and I think we are on our third or fourth recipe. So they look beautiful on Pinterest, right? And if you're not following me on Pinterest, you should. But they look beautiful on Pinterest pictures, right? Anything. And then you try it at home and it never looks the same as it does on Pinterest. So I've tried multiple recipes on Pinterest for gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, and never have they turned out very well. So Friday night, I did it as directed for one set of cookies on a cookie sheet. And then the dough to me is just too runny, too soft, too liquidy. And so I added more flour to a set of cookies that we put on another cookie sheet. Those looked better, but they tasted a little bit more floury. So going to be trying another Pinterest recipe and see how it goes. And I actually think, if I can remember, because I forgot when I was already like halfway done this time, that I want to try bars, because I think part of it is the gluten-free just like spreads really bad. And so then they get to be paper thin. And I think if you force them into a pan so that they had to be thicker, maybe they would be better. I don't know, to be determined. So all that to say that I have not made regular chocolate chip cookies in a long, long time. So we are going to make regular chocolate chip cookies because Cash really wanted me to. So somebody gave me an angry face. That's not fun. So just in case it was an accident, what you do is you put your finger over the emojis, and then you can change it or take it back or do whatever. So note to self, just that you can do that. Hi, Ira. Happy Mother's Day. 18 May 12th. Yeah, it is a fun month. So Kyler was a great Mother's Day gift. We came home from the hospital, and I think like the next day was Mother's Day, and we took her to church for Mother's Day. So it was fun. So I tried to, you can either watch me cook or listen. So I've kind of started a little bit. I have brown sugar, regular sugar, softened butter in here, borderline too soft. And then I just have flour in here, and I already broke my eggs just so I didn't have to wash my hands. So I am just following Toll House recipe, and we have started. I used to get dark chocolate chips all the time, and now the kids only like the dark chocolate chips. They do not, hey Jennifer, they do not like semi-sweet anymore. So I don't know really that these are any healthier because the cocoa percentage is very low. So they're not really dark chocolate in my opinion, but They like the taste better now that they've had them a little bit. So we've got 2 1/4 cups of flour. We need a teaspoon of baking soda. And I would say that I need some new teaspoons and tablespoons. But these are old aluminum ones. They probably, let me double check myself, a teaspoon. They probably shouldn't go in the washing machine or dishwasher, but I always put them in the dishwasher. Better use my right hand. I'll be less likely to spill. So when I was teaching foods class, I would have been yelling at my kids for measuring over the bowl. But I normally do not put as much salt in a recipe as it calls for. So I was a little skimpy on that. So we have our dry ingredients over here. And honestly, I probably most of the time just put all of the ingredients in a bowl, and I don't worry about separating out dry and liquids, but I did today just to get some pre-measurements done. So in here, we need a teaspoon of vanilla and our 2 eggs, and then we have all of our ingredients. So I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. I got my mom a plant and bought myself a couple ferns because I decided if I don't hurry up and buy them, even though I'm not exactly sure what I want or where I want to put them, if I don't hurry up and buy them, then they're all going to be sold out. So we're going to just stir this up. But for the most part today, we chatted with my parents and have been watching TV, Netflix. I haven't been very productive. We are watching Designated Survivor, which it's so, I mean, we're in like season 3, but it's so slow because it was like originally made for normal TV. And, you know, you watch an episode and you have to wait a week to watch another episode. And the shows that are made specifically for Netflix just seem to be a lot faster paced. So it has been a little bit different watching Designated Survivor, but we've watched it this long now. We're going to finish it up. Yesterday, I took down the kitchen cabinets in the basement or in the little kitchenette and filled the holes, took down the TV, filled those holes. My paint, I will have one more cabinet I need to take off the wall, and then I'm going to paint hopefully tomorrow. And then I also hung a cabinet, which that was in yesterday's live video. And so tomorrow I'm going to try and paint, and depending on how my time goes, I need to still clean some junk. So one of my lives last week was showing you how to clean using WD-40. And so I didn't get very far that day. I can't remember what happened, but something happened, and then I got sidetracked and worked on something else. So I am a person who definitely likes routines, and I like to be very strategic in what I'm doing. However, there's also a lot of flexibility in being your own boss, because if I feel like cleaning, I can. If I feel like painting, I can. If I feel like writing a blog post, I can. And so I really like that flexibility. Currently in the dining room, we still have one framed piece of vintage wallpaper and 2 of those like window grates up. You can kind of see a sneak peek in maybe, I don't know if it was Friday's video. So I will be revealing that sometime this week, hopefully. I really need to get a ladder, borrow a neighbor's ladder so I can get up high enough. So hopefully these cookies turn out okay, because it's literally been so long since I have cooked normal cookies. And it is cool here in Iowa. Here's a clump of brown sugar. It's cool here in Iowa. So we had turned our air on for a couple days, and then we turned it back off this morning and have the windows open. kind of been foggy, hazy, misting all day. So for anybody who had Mother's Day plans outside, I'm not sure if they were able to execute those or not. And, oh, this weekend I will be going to Elkhorn, Wisconsin, to the Elkhorn Flea Market. And I will also be going to Pecatonica, Illinois. And that is the Peck Thing. It's another flea market. So if you missed it last year, I did a few videos shopping both of those. And I will be recording video and going live as well, since we're doing the live challenge for May. Okay, that looks pretty good. See, to me, this dough is a little bit too soft. I don't know. Maybe I melted my butter a little bit too much. And then I am opposite of pretty much everybody. I do not like a lot of chocolate chips. And I know everyone else in my family and probably everywhere, they do like a lot of chocolate chips. So I'll probably put a few more in there than I typically would myself. So that looks pretty good. I really like to cook with my Pampered Chef baking stone and my Pampered Chef scoop. And I just washed this, so it's dripping some water. I did have somebody reach out to me and see if I would have a Pampered Chef party. So when I do that, I'll probably put it on my page. So if you want to get anything, I'm definitely a fan of the stones, the scoops, and I really like the Measure-All. Those are probably my favorite things. When I taught, we used to do a Pampered Chef fundraiser. So we had a lot of Pampered Chef products in our classroom. And then, of course, I would always buy things. You can see my cookie dough is kind of striped. There's some butter in there, but that's all right. I know the kids will eat it. Trying to think what else is on the docket for this week. Oh, I have Hello Iowa, I think on Wednesday. So I'll need to get prepared for that. I think I'm going to do something with old bottles and new dispensers. So like soap and olive oil. I really have no idea how much these cookies spread since it's been forever. Stir up some of that butter a little bit more. But I feel like that's a pretty good amount. And we better put a timer on because I don't know about you. Computer, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
But I am terrible about cooking and putting something in the oven, and then I'll go do something to make a good use of my time. And then guess what? I forget what the heck I was cooking and something gets fried. Not quite even. So I did make some chickpea cookies earlier. That's why I had to wash the scoop. And something I've been watching when Matt's gone. So like right now, Matt's at Football with Cash. And I've been watching Queen Charlotte, one of the Bridgerton shows or branch offs, or I don't even know what you call it. Storylines. So has anybody else watched Bridgerton? And then I will just cook on the stone. And then once these are done, I'll just move them to a plate probably and then cook the rest of them. or another sheet. And I do typically flip-flop my top pan to my bottom pan. No, cookies do not. Yeah, the cookie scoop is awesome, and nothing sticks on the stones. Why do I have 3 mad faces? It makes no sense. Nothing will stick on these stones. And the other thing that is awesome about it, because again, I'm often forgetful and I don't turn my timer on and I multitask, it's really hard to burn things beyond edibility, because however the stone cooks it, it cooks it a little bit more evenly. And so it might get a little bit darker on the bottom, but really I don't know how it works exactly, but it does not burn things like a normal pan would. It's a lot more forgiving. How about that? I'm not going to say you can't turn something into charcoal, but it is a lot harder. So you don't spray them, you don't do anything. But with the stones also, you do not wash them with soap. So you just wash them with water. We cook our bacon on this a lot, and anything that's fatty and greasy kind of soaks into the stone. So you can tell really used one, because we have some round pizza pans that I use too that are stones. And you can really tell, like, when I've gotten a new one, it feels a lot more porous. And the more you use them, then they kind of get it's not slick like oily, but it's a smoother to the touch feel. And things don't stick. So you don't ever spray it with Pam. You don't need to do any of that. You don't want to wash it with soap, because that soap taste gets into those porous things. So cooking with Brooke, how fun. No, I just had to get on here for a live, and so I'm like, hey, I gotta cook cookies anyway, so we might as well chit chat while we're doing that. I'm sure a lot of us for Mother's Day have ate extra calories and or made some sweet treats today, and so I just thought it seemed fitting. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow sometime for tomorrow's live. And I think tomorrow, I said this yesterday, but I went ahead and did the cookies. Tomorrow, I'm going to share with you what I got at the Iowa State Fairground Flea Market, which I feel like it was just last weekend. I think it was just last weekend. But my sense of time is getting really messed up, because last weekend I had Watch Here, I had the Iowa State Fairground Flea Market, I did some garage sailing. This weekend we did Pella and citywide garage sales at Prairie City. So it's been a jam-packed month of May already. So I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. Have a good rest of your evening. Happy Mother's Day.